Irving, McDaniels is on him. Kyrie plays his way. What a great play. What a first.
Kyrie and the Dallas Mavericks have me stunned. Have me absolutely stunned. I made a video last year when they tanked to get the 10th pick that they would have lost or whatever. And I was just talking about how the Kyrie and Luka thing didn't work and how it was never going to work. And backtracking on it a bit, just getting into Kyrie, the more that you look at it, the more remarkable this is. The more remarkable this kind of rebirth in Dallas is for him. And, you know, change is tough. Change is tough for, you could look around at like friends, family. Maybe there's an addiction. Maybe change is difficult. You have to go out of your way to change, especially when you're older. In your early 30s, like a guy like Kyrie, he has changed. It's really kind of at the end to a great arc for Kyrie Irving, where you have obviously this skilled player next to one of the greatest to ever do it in LeBron when they were in Cleveland. And then he, as Kyrie, got kind of selfish, and he said, I want more. I want to be the leader of a team. Demands a trade out of Cleveland, goes to Boston, kind of blows up in his face. After that, goes to Brooklyn to team up with Kevin Durant, which Kevin Durant was just never the alpha that was going to be able to, and they were close, but it just didn't really end up working out. There were health issues. Then he goes to Dallas to pair with Luka, and just recently you've seen a lot of Kyrie. He's been erratic. There was the issues with when COVID was going on. Just everything that he was saying to the media seemed out of touch, out of line, uncalculated. And then you're watching him in this season, and he's been a grown-up. He's matured. He's actually become the adult in that room. He knows his role on that team. He's playing a role. He's a role-based player. He's not trying to take over and be the star. He knows Luka's the number one. And he's playing defense. Kyrie Irving's playing defense. Like, he did a pretty darn good job in that game one against Ant Edwards, a player that's perceived to be one of the most athletic players in the NBA. There's comparisons to Jordan. And he's guarding him. And he's doing pretty good. So Kyrie Irving, it's been shocking. It's been shocking to say the least. And I always thought with Kyrie, when you watch him, he's got the wow. Kyrie, maybe the most skilled player in NBA history. Just some of the way that guy creates his own shot is ridiculous. Like when he's able to move his way, dribble around several people, then put up some fall away jumper and it goes in. It's remarkable to watch. And if you just look at the team in general, I think that they could go to the finals now. It's because everybody is embracing their role. You have the superstar. You have Luka. You have the wiser veteran in Kyrie Irving. You have young depth with a guy like Lively, Tim Hardaway Jr. You got players, and they've come together. They've improved. They've surprised me. But Kyrie, it's so remarkable because the more you look back into it, he hasn't been this far in the postseason since 2017 when he went to the finals with the Cavs, the year before he was traded. The other years in the postseason, he's been either injured or his teams just haven't gotten that far. And like I said, this is the furthest he's been since then. And it's been a 7-year window. And it just doesn't happen. Like, it happens for guys that'll like have a lesser role, maybe, or like a bench, like a Dwight Howard on the Lakers. It had been a 7-year gap for him or whatever. But Kyrie is still the second best player on that team. He's still a huge part of that team. You just don't see that usually. You don't see a player have a run to the NBA Finals, kind of be dormant for 7 seasons, and then get his way back. So it's really remarkable what he's doing. He's turning back the clock. I've always been a huge fan of Kyrie. I'm going to be rooting for the Mavericks at this point to get the title done, to win it, because it's like I said, I like Kyrie. I appreciate the title run that he went on in Cleveland in 2016. I think he's one of the most fascinating players to watch in the NBA, but he had me frustrated last year because he seemed like he was a cancer to locker rooms. That's what it looked like it was becoming. And slowly but surely, you're seeing this guy mature. Hasn't been that erratic. Hasn't said crazy things in the media. He looks like a grown-up. And I think that if he continues to play at a high level, we know Luka's going to play at a high level, then I think that the Mavericks could win the title. If you really take a second look, if they get out of this round, of course, it's been one game, but if they get out of this round, Boston is not going to be ready in the finals. They have cakewalked through the East. They played an injured Heat team, an injured Cavs team, and an Indiana Pacers team that, quite frankly, is not that good. Boston's going to be, the first two games they might lose. They might go down 0-2. They're going to be shocked when they walk in there because they just haven't seen it for months. They haven't seen it for about a month. High competitive basketball. Like the West has been a bloodbath. And if you look at it, the Mavericks got a really bad draw. They had to play the Clippers in the first round. Then they got a young, vibrant, second in MVP voting, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led OKC team that gave them everything. And now they have this new look Minnesota Timberwolves team with arguably the best domestic player in the NBA. So it's really interesting. But like I said, this is more of a praise to Kyrie Irving. Unbelievable stuff that he was able to kind of change, adapt. And since LeBron and my Lakers are out, I'll be rooting for the Mavs to take this one. And we'll see what happens with it. We'll see how the next couple of games go. But for as of right now, I got to give, once again, praise to what Kyrie Irving is doing.